Hello? Hello? You got it? All right, everyone, please find your seats. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the 2023 People's Action Convention. My name is Elisa Aguilera. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the co-executive director of Vocal New York. And I'm so proud to be the chair of the People's Action Institute board. So let's give a big, big thank you to the Blue and White Marching Band for getting us so much amazing music and energy. And we also want to celebrate the first ever Pride Parade at a People's Action Convention. Thank you so much to everybody that helped pull that together. And today, this year's theme is Coming Home, an organizing revival. It's been 5 years since the People's Action Network has gathered at one of these conventions. The last one was in 2019, and you all know what's been going on the last 5 years, why we couldn't be here together. So that's why it's so exciting and so important that we're all here in community and space together today. So I was thinking about, make some noise if this is the first time you've ever been to a People's Action Convention. Make some noise if you're like, I'm not even sure what People's Action is. I was just like you. In 2013, I just got on staff at Vocal New York, and somebody told me, hey, you need to staff this convention. Get on a bus, forward to a room, and you're going to see what's going on. I would never have believed that in 10 years later, I would not only be leading Vocal New York, but also the chair of People's Action, and have built so many beautiful relationships, won so many victories, and just met the most amazing, brilliant organizers in this country. And so I really want you guys, I was thinking about that trip and in 2013, and some of the people that were on that bus with me. Elizabeth Owens, Bobby Tolbert, Carl Stubbs, some of the closest friends and allies and warriors that I have had the privilege to know. And so I really want you to, those were people that were like at my wedding, that come to my kids' birthday parties, who I didn't know at all when I got on that bus. And so I want you guys to really take a second, think about who you came here with, because this is not a convention, this is a homecoming, and this is about building relationships of who you're gonna struggle with for the next 10 years. And so all of you are here today because you are building people power. We are building power in working in poor communities in urban, rural, and suburban areas to win change through issue fights and elections. We are a national network of 40 state and local grassroots power building organizations in 30 states in the work of building a bigger we. So get to know each other, build relationships, and have fun. And I have the pleasure of introducing my co-MC, Ken Whitaker from Michigan United.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA.
What up, though? What up, though? One more time, what up, though? My name is Ken Whitaker. I can say this because we haven't been in this room in 4 years. I am the new executive director of Michigan United. About 10 years ago, I walked into an organization beat down and powerless. Every one of my family, every turn I took seemed to hurt. I was part of the cogs in the wheel that was destroying the fabric of my own community. That ain't right. But I got organized. There's a gentleman by the name of Bartosz Kumar. He asked me simple questions. He says, "What are you waiting for?" I said, "I need some instructions. I need a book." My dad told me, read a book from cover to cover. You could do anything. He says, "What if I told you you didn't need instructions? What if I told you that everything you need is in you right now?" I took the opportunity to go to week-long transformational training. It didn't create an organizer, y'all, just saying. It didn't create an organizer. But what it did was light my soul on fire. Not only did I learn what authenticity was, I could spell it forwards and I could spell it backwards. And I went home and I lit a fire under everybody that I spoke to. Everybody. But at that same time, 10 years ago, people's action began to develop a long-term agenda. And that is why we're here today. That is why we're here today. We are here to get serious and recommit to building the power needed to pass a long-term agenda. This long-term agenda is our 40-year plan on how we transform this society and how we transform this economy to work for the 99% of us. Not the 1%. Not the 1%, but the 99% of us. We're here to get serious about contending for governing power, to take over this country for the people that you stand on, the shoulders that you stand on. I want you to take a minute and I want you to think about your ancestors. I want you to think about the people that came before you. You are who they dreamed about. You are who they cried about. You are who they prayed about. I don't know about y'all, but I got a praying grandma. And that praying grandma is the reason I'm here right now. We are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors so that our descendants can stand on ours. Now this year, we'll be ratifying our 10-year plan to help take a huge leap towards realizing our long-term agenda. Because when we fight, when we fight, when we plan, all right, now, this year's convention is about our power plans. Organizing is the antidote to the powerlessness that I felt and the isolation that each one of us has experienced, especially over the last 3 years. Powerlessness is killing our communities and destroying our planet. It is time out for awareness, and it is time for action. We need this organizing revival to breathe life into our communities so that we can build the power we need to realize this vision. Where are my warriors at? Where my warriors at? We got warriors from all over this country descending on Arlington, Virginia right now. And I'm going to pass it to Kim Smith from Vocal New York because we're about to call out each and every one of them because it is booyaka, booyaka roll call time, y'all.
Come on, Rocky.
America has
Roll call. Whose house? People. People. When I say coming, you say home. Coming. Coming. Yes, my name is Kim Smith. I am a delegate of People's Action and very committed political director of the political family that raised me, Vocal New York.
What's up, Kim? So we both from the Rock, me and Kim Smith, all coming from Rochester, New York, in the house. What? You know, Ken was over here talking about how he got a praying mother and a praying grandmother. You know, I got my grandson running around somewhere in here. I'm a grandma. And I'm going to tell you, I don't want to just pray for my son. I want to be able to say, baby, I didn't just pray for you. I fought for you. Come on! I had you on my mind. I took the time to go to Arlington, Virginia and fight for you, baby, and fight for everybody else. That's what I'm talking about. Take it to church.
Yes.
What?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
My name is Rosemary Rivera, and I grew up right alongside Kim at another organization called Citizen Action of New York. What? I am a Puerto Rican lesbian, grandma, with a black family living in a white world. You know I need y'all back. What's up? Stand up if you got my back, and stand up if you got each other's back. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes! Yes!
Together we win. So we gonna introduce all of y'all, and when we call out y'all names, y'all gonna bring this roof down, right? All right. Kim, hit it, baby.
All right, well, let's start it off with Pennsylvania Stand Up. Stand up and be seen, Pennsylvania. Yes! Yes!
So, Citizen Action of New York, what's up? Where you at? Who else got my back when my people ain't in the room yet? Who got my back? What's up?
Well, that's okay. We're going to come back to those people.
That's right.
All right, but for now, we're going to move on to Arkansas's Public Policy Panel. Show yourselves. Show yourselves, Arkansas.
And in the house we go.
All right. Stephanie, where is Lucha? Living United for Change in Arizona.
And next in the house, all the way in the Midwest, they is rocking and rolling in a big part of PA. You got Citizen Action of Wisconsin.
All right now, and bringing that Rocky Mountain kind of high, we got Colorado People's Action in the house. We see you.
Next up, looking lovely in blue and white, but always thinking about black women leading. I'm gonna say Juanita Lewis and CVH better stand up, baby.
Bring it! Bring it! Bring it! Bring it!
Woo!
You see that Eddie Murphy movie? What? Sexual Chocolate. All right now, for all you sports fans, come coming to you from the home of ESPN, knocking out political oppression in CT. We're coming with Connecticut Citizens Action Group. Let us see you.
Y ahora tengo que hablar. Se me va a ir la voz. Pero ahora tenemos a Firelands unidos, trabajadores unidos, ¿dónde están?
Woo! Better say that. You better say that. Welcome home, hometown action. Where you at? Woo! All right. Over here in the yellow.
And next on the list we got Resurrection. Where you at?
All right, y'all. Illinois is not only known for its prairies, but also for its people power. So let's hear it for Illinois People's Action. Woo!
Now we got 3/4 of the state, I believe, belong to this organization. They is talking about build that base, baby, build that base. Maine People's Alliance, where you at?
Y'all bring it up for the people who are bringing power to the new generation, New Hampshire Youth Movement.
And of course, the very folks that are fighting for democracy while it is under threat, which includes all of us, but let's shout it out to Rights and Democracy of New Hampshire.
All right. And building that economic power, we got Missouri Jobs with Justice. Woo!
Then right across the river from us, Kim, check it out. Right across the river from us, there's this place called New Jersey Organizing Project. What?
Right. Well, stand on your feet for the home team. Washington Community Action Network. Wrong Washington.
Oh shit, Kim. Oh shit. This shit get real now. It's the boogie down in the house. Northwest Bronx Clergy Community Coalition. Boogie down. What?
All right.
What's up? The boogie down in the house.
And the people united will never be defeated. Let's hear it for One America. Where you at?
Power people organized for West Side renewal. Where y'all at? What's up? West Side? West Side?
All right, build that collective movement, united vision for Idaho.
We see you, Adrian. We see you. Next up, okay, I lost my place. Where the heck I'm at? Give me a minute, people. That was Idaho. Okay. Now, I know where we going. We going a little bit. Oh, we in this area. West Virginia Community Action Group. Where you at?
There you go. That was worth the wait.
Woo!
All right, let's give it up for PLAN, Progressive Leadership Alliance of Nevada.
I know these girls were celebrating Pride and got on a plane to celebrate Pride with us. So San Francisco rising! Woo!
citizens for community improvements. Woo! We see you. We see you.
Sometimes we gotta pull our people along. But there's an organization called Push Buffalo that pushes it forward. Woo! What? From Buffalo! Buffalo!
West Side. Building power one person at a time. Neighbor to neighbor, Massachusetts. I think they came on 3 buses.
Okay, we had the West Side, now we got the Southwest Organizing Project. What's up? Where you at? Woo! I see you. I see you.
All right, let's hear it for the folks who don't take shorts. They take action. Take action, Minnesota.
And of course, we got the peoples, the people, the people. Anyway, the People's Lobby, what's up? Woo! Look at y'all. Y'all beautiful. Y'all beautiful. I wanted to say, whoa, woo, the people shall never be defeated. Yes. There you go.
Yes. Organizing neighbors for equality, one North Side. You better call it.
All right. So this is a really special group to me.
You better call it.
This is a very special group to me because, no, all kidding aside, all jokes aside, I feel like I am one of their members. I really am a vocal person. So Vocal New York, take pride, stand up, shout it out. My girl, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait a minute, Rosemary. Wait a minute, Rosemary. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Woo!
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm talking
Wait a minute, Rosemary. You called out Vocal New York, but we got Vocal Kentucky and Vocal Texas. Bring it. All right, people. All we do is. All right.
And then we go down a little further south, but we get to Maryland. Progressive Maryland, show up and show out. What? I know.
All right, now let's take it down to the dirty South and go to down home, North Carolina.
With one more, last but not least, Michigan United!
All right, now, if you are a People's Action ally, funder, or organization exploring joining People's Action, we want you to stand on your feet and make some noise.
action and make some noise. Welcome our friends and allies. These are our siblings in the fight. When they go low, we throw down. Let them know that they're at home with us and that turn it to your neighbor, we got each other's back. I got my people's back. I got Citizen Action's back. I got my people's back. Have our back, because we gonna go in. We gonna go deep. We gonna build some base. We gonna fill this room up with their standing room only next time we show up. So, let's do this.
Thank you, Rosemary and Kim. We're so glad to have so many people in this room and at this convention with us, but we also want to take a moment to remember and bring into the space all the people who couldn't be here with us. So I'm turning it over to Shamika Parrish-Wright from Vocal Kentucky.
Thank you.
Who's going to lead us in a rite of remembrance.
Thank you.
I will, can you hear me? There you go. I will actually get started before Shamika. The most beautiful thing in life are not really things. There are people. There are places. Memories. The feelings and moments and smiles and laughters. My name is Yesenia Beascochea, and I'm one of the organizers with Center for Health Progress.
All right.
In the process of recognizing the successes and work that has been laid before us, we need to take a pause and acknowledge that the path that we are walking today has been laid by someone else, that we are standing in the shoulders of giants. And also, let's recognize many of these people's lives were taken by oppression and by hate. We have gathered together to continue working to building a society that our ancestors dreamed for us. Please bring those individuals and groups of people into the space of remembrance. At this time, I'm going to invite you all to please close your eyes and think of the people who you love dearly and touched by those people's lives, those lives who are no longer with us. When you're ready, we're going to be using a lot of our senses. When you are ready, we are going to be using a lot of our senses. See the faces of those people. Think of their names. If it's more than one person, visualize them. Do you see their faces? Do you know who they are? Is there a smile that reminds you of them? What do they do? What do they do to enjoy life? What was the last thing you celebrated with them? Do you see a smile on their face? Feel their warmth. Feel their love they had for you. Feel the admiration you had for them. As you welcome into this space, hold on to them for a little while longer. We're going to be passing on the word to my friend Shamika. Go ahead and open your eyes.
Thank you, Yesenia, for opening the space as we bring remembrance of the people we have lost, the lives, the souls. And as Ken said, we are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. We are also living their wildest dreams. Every day you show up, you are doing that. You will now see a slideshow play that thank you all for submitting pictures and names, but I also want to make you take action. I want you to take a ride with me, and you get to feel all the feelings. Because Yesenia is going to close us out, I think that this is a safe space to lift up everyone that we have lost. This is my first time at People's Action, and I am excited to be here with all of you beautiful people. Vocal Kentucky rode 3 buses at 4 in the morning, at midnight, to get here to be with you. Thank you. There are countless names and beautiful souls whose lives could have been saved with better policies, harm reduction services, care, and resources. That is why we must honor those that have gone before us in every way. What better way to start that journey than to be here as we are about to embark on an amazing 3 days together, lifting people and celebrating people power. Your life and your work that you do every day to improve lives is open, it's intentional, it's revolutionary, and it is a way to carry forward the memories of all of our loved ones. You all should see some index cards that are colored near your seats. I'm going to ask you as I continue on to write the names of the people you have lost. Think about everyone, and if there's too many, write the numbers. If you don't want to write a number, draw a picture. We brought this basket from Kentucky to carry the memories and the names with us as we move along today and for the next 3 days. While you write, after I finish speaking, we're going to play Redemption Song by Bob Marley. I chose that song because the song reminds us that we don't have to hold it all alone. We deeply recognize the contributions made by those lost over the last several years. Some of us got to say goodbye, and many of us couldn't. Please feel free to write names and numbers, as I said, draw pictures, and there will be ushers collecting those cards from you. Give them to the ushers, they will put them in the basket, we will fill that up, we will fill up the vase, and we will carry that vase with us. This is very important. We want to give an opportunity to lead with love by recognizing those we have lost to COVID-19, overdose deaths, police violence, climate disasters, those who couldn't get health care they needed, mass incarceration, homelessness or houselessness, racism, anti-immigrant laws, anti-Asian violence, anti-LGBTQ plus violence, and all the other ways loved ones have been taken from us. There will, as I said, this vase represents the People's Action Right to Remembrance vase, and that will travel with us to our direct actions on Tuesday. The vase will remain here throughout this time, so you can fill it in and write in the names if you don't have the time to give it to the ushers before we leave. Feel free to come back and do that. We want you to feel lighter heading into the rest of the convention. Let's use our voices and release the names of those we want to remember. As soon as the song finished playing, I want you to shout out the names of those who you have lost. We will do that for 2 minutes. And then Yesenia will come up and help close this way that we are honoring those we have lost. I'm taken back because every day that I speak, every day I hear from people on people we have lost, and it's very sad. And I don't want to make this momentous moment sad, but I do want to lift up those names. They're why I show up. They're why we keep doing what we do. Can we play Redemption Song? And can you please honor those you have lost? Use the cards. Give them to the ushers. And before we shout the names, I want to proudly stand on the shoulders of our ACT UP and Vocal New York members and leaders, along with many sheroes and heroes and all that we have lost along the way. Let's spend the next 2 minutes shouting those names, please. Thank you. Thank you.
James Dean. Mary Hall.
Keeman Walker. Daniel Hill. Mary Hall. Isabel Leslie.
Thank you.
Laverne Holly. Orlando Taylor III. Sinclair. James Dean.
You all are so beautiful. Thank you. Please carry this energy forward. Honor them by participating fully in People's Action Organizing Revival. Thank you. Yesenia?
Now I'm going to invite you to close. Now I'm going to be inviting you to close the circle. I recognize that we brought up so many beautiful memories and also the fact that we have brought up some emotions that might not be holding on to us. I recognize that we are all connected by one degree of separation and that as humankind, we are not alone. I recognize that Shamika is my other me. I'm going to invite you to release a little bit of tension. Put some love in your palms, in your arms. We're going to close them and tap gently and send some love. Feel your feet. Feel them heavy in the ground. Continue tapping. Feel your body. Feel your body getting heavier and heavier in your chair. Go ahead and stop tapping. Take a couple of big, deep breaths. One more. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you. Gracias.
You know, sometimes remembering is a little hard, ain't it? Choke you up a little bit. We've lost quite a few people. The last 3 or 4 years, we've been through hell. Gasoline draw zone. Getting burnt up, chewed up, spit out. And that's the reason why we're emerging from these ashes like a phoenix, an organizing revival. You know, I'm a People's Action PAC board member. We had a board meeting in San Francisco, and I got to sit next to a very special lady. And she asked me, why do you do this? What's your best memory? And I told her that I got to go to a convention, and we did a direct action in front of the White House. And there were some undocumented immigrants chaining themselves to the fence of the White House. I had my camera out. I'm snapping pictures. It hurt. But I turned around and pointed the camera at myself. Did a selfie. With them getting arrested in the back. And I pulled out that picture and I showed her. And she smiled. And she pulled out her phone. She swiped through a few times. And then she showed me the same picture that I took. My picture had me in it looking back at them. And her picture was of her getting arrested in front of the White House. And she said, Ken, that was me. And I said, damn, that's full circle for real. We are emerging from these ashes with a new leader. One who does this for her existence, not for adrenaline. It is my pleasure to introduce to you someone who truly has my heart. Our new executive director, Mrs. Zulma Arias.
Thank you, Ken. We'll never be defeated. United will never be defeated. The people, united, will never be defeated. Yes, will never be defeated. The people, united, will never be defeated. Whew. Welcome home, everyone. Thank you, Ken. Thank you. Bienvenidos a casa, a todos. Estoy emocionadísima de que estén aquí. Welcome to our affiliate leadership who lead the vision of this organization. Welcome to allies, friends who encourage, support us, and make us better every day. Welcome home. My name is Zulma Arias. I use she, her, ella pronouns. And yes, 22 years later, after I sat on that chair, on one of those chairs for the first time, I am the executive director of People's Action. Happy Pride Month. Happy Immigrant Month. I am so happy that we're here together after what has been very, very hard for years. Welcome all of you to this sacred space. My adult children and my husband, who is joining me here today, will tell you. Ruben Eccles, please stand. My husband, Ruben Eccles, for them to. They will tell you that I am the most annoying person when it comes to welcoming and hosting people because I obsess over my house being clean, everything being in place. Lucky for you and lucky for me and lucky for all of us. The people here, the team, the national team, there's a DNA here where the tradition continues and all the magic that they make seem so easy, which takes a lot of work, continues to be here and to make all of this happen. Thank you to each and every one of you who put in the time to make this beautiful home for all of us. Thank you for making sure that we're all feeling welcome. Because that's what home is all about, right? Home is a place where we go to reground ourselves, to find ourselves when we feel a little lost, when we feel a little tired and in need of support. When we want to remember the simple act of being held by a loving community. I also realize that for some of us, home might be filled with some complexities, even some sadness and some pain. You see, 4 years ago, on a Sunday evening,
I got a call from my family in El Salvador. My sister, who had traveled to El Salvador for about 4 days, had drowned in a tragic accident. The word home at that moment became filled with a lot of pain and complexities for me, because in the middle of everything that we were going through, we had to deal with the question, where is home for us? Did we leave her body there where my mom had been buried and where she was born and grew up? Or did we bring her body back to Kansas, where she had children, she had bought a house, and she had built a community there? After a lot of conversation, painful conversations with our family there and our family here, we decided to bring her back to Kansas. As a result of that experience, I also decided to buy my own plot of land next to her for my own final resting place. Some of us had to deal with the complexities of home during the pandemic, when we were told to go and stay home in order for us to be safe. But some of us didn't have a home to go to. For some, the safety of home did not last very long, because people were getting evicted when they couldn't make rent. That brought up all of the problems and the crisis that we have in this country. For some, staying home meant going hungry. For others, it was a place of physical harm and violence. And for most, it became a place of isolation, depression, disconnection, things that we're still grappling with today. So when we asked you to join us for this homecoming, it is not lost to us that many of you come from different experiences of pain, isolation, exclusion. Some of you have worked your butts off to be here. The last 4 years have been hard, and you've made it all the way here. But that's hard. Some of us are in the verge of burnout. And I've had these conversations with all of you across the country. I know, because I've been there too. But you know what I've also experienced? I have experienced the power of people contact through organizing. The power of connecting to people who understand you, who love you, and who hold you. In 1999, a woman by the name of Laura Dungan, a white woman by the name of Laura Dungan, who was mentored by Shell Trap, one of our co-funders, knocked on my door. Yes, all the way in Kansas. She brought Shell Trap all the way to Kansas, a place that had very little significance back then. There's some talk about Kansas now, but it wasn't really a place where there was any national attention. But those two people saw something in me and went beyond the Christian conservative woman who was homeschooling her 3 daughters because she was afraid to send them to public school because of my religious beliefs. They engaged me. They didn't give up after the first time they knocked on my door. They were very curious, genuinely curious about the human being, and they found a deeper connection to me. And now I am standing before you because of them. When I began to search for answers while I was still in church, I discovered liberation theology. And for those of us who are not theologians, what it means, it is a movement that really interprets and applies scripture through the lens of marginalized communities. Soon after, I also discovered organizing, and I heard from Shell and from Laura that in organizing, those closer to the problem are also closer to the solution. I was blown away by that. I was so blown away by that. By the fact that the application, the interpretation, and the solution is in us and in the now. And that in order for all those works to mean anything and to have any power, which were written thousands of years ago, for them to have any meaning and for them to be effective, they have to be relevant to those dealing with these problems here and now, and they need to be reinterpreted by those of us who are here. Can you all imagine the writers of the scriptures, the writers of the Constitution? In the case of the Constitution, mostly white men sitting in boardrooms deciding about our bodies, making decisions about how we were going to be governed, and then making sure that they stayed in power to continue to govern us. I hope you can imagine it. I hope you can imagine it. I hope you can imagine what it means to change it, because it is only through reinterpreting and through reimagining that Brown versus Board of Education was won, which overturned separate but equal and gave us, people of color, public access. It was only through organizing, reinterpreting, and reimagining that the Voting Rights Act was won, which did not only secure rights for black people and for people of color, it secured rights for white, poor people, for disabled people, by making voting more accessible for all of us, which, by the way, in this very moment, is in danger as we speak. And if all that sounds amazing to you and great, yes, but let me tell you something. The bad news is there are forces disguised as let's make America great again, that want to take us back to those boardrooms, to those dark boardrooms, where people, all of us here, would not be welcome because we don't agree with a racist and greedy agenda. And they started planning a long time ago, but we read their playbook. Because the Joan Powell memo, for example, who we were introduced to 10 years ago through a process of creating a 40-year plan, we know their playbook and we started creating our own. So we started to push back, and we're now, like Ken said earlier, we're at a 10-year mark, and we're in the process of reimagining. And we're going to spend the next 2-3 days together reimagining how we're going to put people first. Rather than what? People first rather than what? The greedy corporations. And we're going to create a world where everyone can have safe, affordable place to live. A place where every single person can access health care, the health care they need. A place where we have clean air, clean water, and every one of us has a voice in how our lives are run. For the next 2 days, I invite you to be curious about each other. Don't give up at the first interaction. Be curious about the resilience that got each and every one of us here. Let's imagine the world that we can create together. Welcome home, People's Action.
Thank you, Sulma. We are so lucky to have you leading this network. Okay, are y'all ready to celebrate? All right, because over here we're going to hear from some celebrations over the last 5 years. We haven't been together, and to kick it off is Don Dunphy from Citizen Action of Wisconsin.
My name is Don Dunphy, and I am a member of Citizen Action of Wisconsin. The issue that brought me to movement politics was the climate crisis. And I grew very tired of watching the politicians in Washington and Madison slow walk sound environmental policies. And by the time 2016 came around, I knew I had to do something. At that time, I was a member of the Republican Party. I quit the party. I joined the Democratic Party, and I found Citizen Action of Wisconsin. I'm very grateful to Citizen Action because they put me or introduced me to a method of canvassing or discussing political issues with people while at the same time making a human connection with them. It's called deep canvassing. And in the 2020 election cycle, throughout the swing states from Pennsylvania to Arizona, people like me had 300,000 conversations with voters. Our team in Wisconsin had tens of thousands of those conversations. We had a 40% movement rate, and I'm convinced it made the difference in Wisconsin. Joe Biden won by less than 1 point. I remain committed to this program, and I can't wait to do it some more. And I invite all of you to volunteer to become deep canvassers and elect all of our candidates.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Jamila Woods, Maryland State Delegate. Thank you. I spent 12 years a slave in a foster care system supposedly created to protect me, that instead rejected me, exposing me to physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. When the monsters came in my room at night, both figuratively and literally, I tried, but I couldn't scream. Which renders the question, if I can't scream loud enough for people to hear and realize my condition, where will the sound of my pain go? I came to the place of organizing long before I knew what organizing was. Somehow I developed a faith followed by works that said no more for me and no more for people like me. And I learned that the hard way, that no more means we must do more. We're here today fueling a flame through co-governing power that positions us in a place of strategic organizing of people and money and provides us with the opportunity of a lifetime. But I can tell you today that I'm well aware that the opportunity of a lifetime can only be realized during the lifetime of an opportunity. And so we must promote a message that can no longer be minimized. The organizing revival recognizes our dual sense of urgency, both building power and building relationships. And I'm here with Progressive Maryland. We're looking to garner a state of residents who refuse to be stuck by systems set in motion and glued in place to pad the pockets of a few at the expense of the majority. And we are now closer to a progressive Maryland as a direct result of a historical win in the governor's house in the person of Wes Moore, governor, and Aruna Miller, lieutenant governor. Woo! We elected some very powerful progressives in 2022. In Baltimore County, Sheila Ruth. In Montgomery County, Lorianne Sales for County Council at Large. In Prince George's County, we flipped the county council to a progressive majority. And we're happy to have the inclusion of Crystal Oriata and Walla Blagay. In the state senate, we saw Don Giles. And we have more progressives in the House of Delegates than ever before, including Alethea McCaskill, Adrian Boafo, and yours truly. We saw some local elections won, and we're excited. We started a revival in Maryland, and we're joining progressives throughout the nation. And as a People's Action Collective, we took organizing seriously, even when we heard that there was a red wave coming. And so today we celebrate Take Action Minnesota for flipping a chamber with a Democratic trifecta. Today, we celebrate Michigan United, first trifecta controlled in 30 plus years in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, we helped elect Summer Lee to Congress, John Fetterman to the U.S. Senate, and Josh Shapiro as governor. We're excited
hot damn. Y'all, my name is Marty. I work with the People's Lobby of Chicago. I live, work, and organize in Chicago, and I stand before you tonight to tell you how we kicked the carceral state's ass. What we did in the state of Illinois with my family, the People's Lobby, and countless orgs across the great state of Illinois, what we did was this. We passed the Pretrial Fairness Act. This bill eliminated the ability for the state to hold you hostage based on the ability to pay. You will not be held in custody pre-trial in Illinois without the ability to pay. Now, y'all know that the minute we start talking about progressive politics, the billionaire class starts funding cops, conservatives, and moderates to start destroying what we have built. And what they did in this case, $40 million fucking dollars in one election cycle where they targeted our elected allies who went out there and voted for the Pretrial Fairness Act. They targeted our communities with the worst racist garbage you could fucking imagine. And no, that shit ain't right. Now, what we did instead, we fucking organized like you're supposed to do. My people on the south side of Chicago, we went to the fucking Copland on the north side of Chicago. We knocked doors with our friends and our families. We went out to the suburbs. We talked to them and we showed them because it's our stake. We will not fix this crisis of incarceration and a criminal legal system because there is no such thing as a justice system in this country. We will fix this legal system and make it a just one. Tonight, here we can imagine, defend, and build something better. Thank you all so much, and thank you to the People's Lobby.
Hello, my name is Ezra, and my pronouns are he, handsome. I am a member of Pennsylvania Stands Up, and I'm here to tell you how we won $125 million for housing in Pennsylvania. I come from a long line of farmers and builders. In Puerto Rico, we don't wait for anyone to fix things for us. We get together as a community and fix them ourselves. My mother grew up with the water and electricity being constantly shut off, and she didn't want that for her kids. When I was born, my mother moved us to the mainland. However, growing up, we still went through the same things she did. Our electricity and water would get shut off during random times. Every time our electricity shut off, my mother would light candles around the house. My favorite moments were taking a bath with the lights of the candle. My mother would whisper, "This is how we do it on the island." Those words filled me up with pride, making me feel bigger than I was, as if I could take on whatever the world threw at me. I never understood that those words covered my mother in shame. I didn't know she felt like she was letting us down. I have lived in the same apartment my entire life. This apartment is my home, but like many homes in Reading, it needs to be fixed. When I heard about the whole home repairs program, I needed to get involved. I joined Pennsylvania Stand Up as they launched a statewide campaign to win funding to create new programs to help people like me and my family fix our homes. We worked with people who are movement elected, and together we won $125 million to create the first in the nation whole home repairs program. People power wins because we know whether we are black, brown, or white, young or old, live in the city or in the rural, all people deserve a safe home and deserve to stay in their home. We were able to build a coalition to force the governor and the state legislator to meet our demands. We are here to tell you that when we fight, we win, and it can change our lives. That's why we organize, to bring power to the people. So tell me, why are you here?
All right. Hell yeah. What's up, y'all? Hey, my name's Todd Zimmer. What's up? What's up, down home? Hey. So yeah, hey y'all, I'm Todd. I'm with Down Home, North Carolina. Let me get Cabarrus, Alamance, Granville, Medicaid workers. Get up here, come on. Y'all. We got a story to tell. 5 years ago, we were at this convention. I was here with my now co-director, Dreama Caldwell. We were like a year old as an organization, y'all, and our state in North Carolina refused for 10 years to expand Medicaid in our state. They left 600,000 of our family members and our neighbors, our friends in the gap with no coverage, no ability to access care. That ain't right. When we got started, y'all, it did not seem like there was a path, I'm not going to lie to you, because our state is still dominated by Republicans who hate working people and keep us divided against one another. So, ain't right. Every single time we knocked doors in small town and rural places, we heard access to health care is the most important issue. So we got started working. We knocked doors. We went to lobby visits. We did actions, y'all. But I want you to know, the most important thing we did was we built power and we organized our communities. We took our fight to the districts where resistance to Medicaid expansion was the strongest, those red rural districts that they never thought they'd have to fight for. Every member standing up here flipped their state house district in the last 2 cycles. Y'all, that's right, y'all. And that's why, y'all, this spring, our still Republican-ruled state legislature flipped and passed Medicaid expansion to give 600,000 of our friends and neighbors the care that they deserve. So, y'all, are we done, y'all? Are we finished? Hell no. Because we got 600,000 people who need to get enrolled, registered to vote, trained as members. Until they run this state, we ain't done. So we gonna keep going.
All right. Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo estamos hoy? All right. Y'all, what a beautiful sight. My name is Stephanie Maldonado. I use she, her, ella pronouns, and I'm here with Lucha from Arizona. Thank you so much, People's Action, for creating a space for us to reflect, imagine the impossible, and continue to center our power. If you would have told me 9 years ago that I would be in a room full of 900 organizers, I would have said y'all were tripping. But here we are. The story of Lucha started over 13 years ago with the fight against racist Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who passed SB 1070. The Show Me, hell yeah, boo, who passed the Show Me Your Papers law, who would racially profile people who look like us, would detain and deport communities. But we didn't let that stop us. We made a choice to organize and fight like hell. This has been an uphill battle that has brought us our current wins. It took bringing our members together, like in this room today, to dream what is the Arizona we want to create. And we heard stories from Yoshi that housing is a human right, that no one deserves to be in constant fear of being evicted. And we heard from Yvonne, who is in this room today, that students do not have to pay thousands of dollars for higher education. Along with other demands, we created our People First Economy campaign to hold greedy corporations accountable and take back the people's money. Last year, with the power of community, we elected our first Democratic governor in over 10 years. And we want in-state tuition for all students, regardless of immigration status. And today, I am standing here to to tell you that 2 months ago, through organizing, building intentional relationships, house meetings, deep canvassing, listening sessions, electoral organizing, and mobilizing statewide, ganamos. The people won. We won $150 million in the Arizona state budget for affordable housing to ensure that families like Yoshi's and Sarah's do not experience homelessness, and $40 million in the Arizona Promise program so that Yvonne, Ari, Lexi, and Yahaira do not have to worry to pay for college expenses. So if you're ready to continue organizing and fighting the good fight, and if you're able, stand up. Are y'all ready to keep fighting? Stand up and put up your fist. And if you're ready to join me in this organizing revival, join me in saying, I believe that we will win. 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 Gracias. Woo!
Hi, I'm Jen Coffey from Rights and Democracy, New Hampshire. At one time I was a Republican state representative and an EMT. I thought we could fix healthcare with free market solutions, but companies are so greedy we have to pass laws to force them to provide basic care. When I became sick with my second cancer, this time breast cancer, it didn't go well. We got the cancer, but the surgeries destroyed my body. I walked in a fully functioning EMT, I came out in a wheelchair, and were bedbound for 2 years. I developed the most painful disease known to medicine, CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome. I faced denials and brick walls from United Healthcare despite having insurance. They refused to cover my life-saving treatments and the medications I needed. My infusions they call off-label. For 5 years, they've refused to help me stay alive. I realized I had two choices. Sign my DNR, my do not resuscitate order, or sell everything. I had a fundraiser. I bought my way into infusion therapies. I found coupons for the medications United Healthcare Disadvantage deemed too expensive to keep me alive. I invested in my dignity, deemed myself worthy of life by being open to new therapies, ideas, and perspectives. I did my best to advocate for myself, but that wasn't enough to buy the treatments, to pay for them. I went to a Rights and Democracy meeting and learned about their efforts. I worked with them and with the Care of a Cost campaign. We organized and started a petition demanding United Healthcare cover my care. In a matter of days, we shamed United Healthcare into talking to me. The Care of a Cost team worked with me to help me file appeals and prior authorization requests. With these appeals, plus the public embarrassment campaign, we won approval for my next infusion, compression gloves, and a home pump to treat my lymphedema. Equipment that my provider has never seen a patient get, and now I have one. And I am committed to fighting with all of you so everyone can get the care they deserve.
Hi everyone, my name's Sierra Brown. I use she or they pronouns. I'm a lead organizer at Take Action Minnesota and a very proud Minnesotan. This spring, Minnesota passed our most powerful environmental justice bill in the Minnesota history. Cumulative Impacts Bill aimed to, begin to decrease the disproportionate impacts of pollution felt in our communities, specifically Black and Brown, Indigenous, and tribal nations, which historically have been our most polluted communities in our state. So we aim to create stronger permitting requirements for pollutant infrastructures. And so we knew this was gonna be a large undertaking, right, y'all? But I personally had a lot of confidence that we had built the relationships with our electeds and in our communities to fight. And so we decided to organize students. And so we visited classrooms, over 30 classrooms. We talked to over 1,000 students, many young people feeling a lot of energy around this environmental justice movement. and other fights happening in our state. And I know that this win was only possible because our people's relentless work, right? Which has accumulated over 10 years of organizing, electing our champions like Fu Lee that led the bill, and our amazing champion Leash, and really leading with love and the vision of liberation.
That's right. Woo! Bonjour and hola, fam. My name is Leash Kozlowski. My pronouns are they, them, and I am the first but not last non-binary state representative in Minnesota. Shout out. The future is non-binary. Yeah, happy Pride. It was one hell of a rookie year in a trifecta session with the most diverse legislature in Minnesota history, with people of color and LGBTQ people bringing our gente, our people, up into the halls of power. We worked an inside and an outside game. And while some got to work trying to ban books and trans folks, we hit the ground running, banning hunger and houselessness and climate injustices. And our todays are brighter. As the third state that passed this legislation, so shout out to New Jersey and to New York in the room, we sent a clear message, that's right, that our neighborhoods and our bodies will be regeneration zones and not pollution and health inequity zones. And we heard over and over, that's impossible and don't you dare do that. We bet on us. And so up against powerful lobbyists and the money of big money and dirty money, and even sometimes our own party structures, we relied on our movimiento to secure this victory, to change the systems, to get our power back, to embed transparency and enshrine accountability. And we deserve this repair and reparation, and so do your communities. So we said, we can, we will, watch us. And your communities, I say, we're coming with you to say, get mad, get elected, organize, mobilize, and we're gonna do it again. So get your cousins, your aunties, your homies, and let's effing go! LFG!
Hello, everybody. My name is Jasmine. It's nice to meet you, everybody. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm a leader with the Louisville Tenants Union, and I'm so excited to be here. We have a vision for our city, the state of Kentucky, and the U.S. South. Now, as an adult seeking housing, I have had to live in my car. I have suffered property damage due to my apartment repeatedly flooding with sewer water coming into my apartment. I have developed bug trauma because of pests and bed bug infestations that landlords refuse to help me with. The most housing security that I have ever known was when I served in the military, and that ain't right. No, it's fucking bullshit is what it is. Now, the Louisville Tenants Union has a vision of a home guarantee. We are actively building powers with tenants from public housing complexes to trailer parks. Together, we have accomplished a lot. Together, we have won right of counsel. Together, we have drafted a model fair lease that centers tenants' rights, protections, because it is our vision that one day we will have rent control. The right to organize, quality maintenance support that keeps our homes safe, comfortable, and meeting our needs, and more. And together, something I'm very excited about, we have written legislation to stabilize rents that protect residents living in historically black neighborhoods. Oh, and we're gonna pass that legislation because we've built a base of nearly 50 allied organizations and over 1,000 tenants across all 26 voting counties or districts in Jefferson County who support this legislation, and we're not done growing yet. Now, this specific legislation will help us build freedom colonies in historically black neighborhoods, and that means establishing places where residents govern and collectively own the land. Homes are permanently affordable because housing has been decommodified and guaranteed. Community resources such as land, money, and government support can be used to actualize social housing projects and funding city-wide community land trusts that covers poor and working class communities. Now, housing security can belong to everyone and not just the lucky few. And our vision is not just for us. We believe that we can win these kinds of victories here, then we can win them across the entire state and the entire U.S. South. Please come fight with us. Thank you.
Hey y'all, my name is Jody Newell. I am a long-term volunteer for Rights and Democracy New Hampshire and a brand spanking New Hampshire state representative. From the East Coast to the West and everywhere in between, our movement is rooted in building bridges across lines of difference, across red states and blue states, across race, class, and relationship to drugs. If you, or anyone you know in this room, anyone that you know has used drugs, lost a loved one to drugs, or is in recovery, would you raise your hand? Yeah, I think we can see it, right? This issue impacts so many of us. And it's an issue that we've been taught to stay quiet about, right? We've been taught to be ashamed of it, like we shouldn't speak up. But you know what? We're here to say, no thank you, no more. We're not staying quiet anymore. Together, we will fight to end overdose and the drug war by rooting in the racist history of the drug war.
Hey everyone, my name is Lakshmi. I'm an organizer with Hoosier Action. Woo! As Jody was saying, it was through this intentional bridge building, deep organizing, and thoughtful strategy that we were able to bring home a huge victory for our people at the end of 2022. We passed the Mainstreaming Addiction Treatment Act, or the MAT Act. Woo! So, one of the most effective forms of treatment for folks with opioid use disorder is medication-assisted treatment. And the MAT Act helped remove regulations that made it incredibly hard to prescribe buprenorphine or Suboxone, which is a form of medication-assisted treatment. Which means that this win that we helped bring home is going to help increase access to life-saving treatment for all the communities we organize in. Whether urban or rural, for Black and brown communities, for our people who've been hurting from the overdose crisis. Organizing works.
Hi, so my name is Ronnie Pony Morse, and I am a Grow Team member with The Vocal Kentucky. I was homeless for 15 years, where everything that I turned to make it through, and I even turned away from being a father. On September 6, 2022, I was connected with Suboxone, a medication that has saved my life. Most definitely. Having Suboxone has made me more of a productive man. Not only for myself, but for my family. Knowing that Suboxone has kept me clean for 9 months and 16 days. My partner, she's actually been clean for 16 months now. And if y'all turn to the back and y'all see that little bitty baby right there. That little baby right there is my motherfucking world. And she now has the mama and daddy that she will always and forever have. But this work ain't done, no. This work is not done. But this is why I do it right there. Thank you all.
Nothing like a little baby to remind you what we're fighting for. We are saving tens of thousands of lives. When France expanded its access to BUP in 1995, their overdose deaths fell by 79%. Did you hear that? 79%. That means in 2027, 80,000 fewer people could be dying from drug overdose. When the MAD Act passed, the number of healthcare professionals able to provide BUP increased by 13 times to 1.8 million healthcare providers. This means that family doctors are going to be able to get people the medication that they need. This means that instead of escalating overdose deaths, we will start a sharp downturn in the U.S. thanks to our work. If you were on the core team who helped to bring this victory home, please stand up or raise your hand.
If you met with your elected official about the MAD Act, please stand up or raise your hand.
If you joined an action night to push the MAD Act forward, please stand up or raise your hand.
If you contacted your member of Congress about the MAD Act, please stand up or raise your hand.
If you are a part of the People's Action Network, please stand up or raise your hand.
We did this together. We brought this victory home all together, and we did this through building people power, through developing leaders, and through moving a strategic campaign. We should all feel deep ownership of this victory and the ways we're taking steps to end the overdose crisis. And to close out, we're going to show a short video clip of Shantae Owens from Brooklyn, New York.
When the MAD Act was ultimately passed, it felt like all was right in the world for a moment. Our hard work was paying off for thousands of people.
I cried because I had to close my eyes, and I seen, for the first time in my life, I seen the dead people smile. And when I say the dead people, we have lost a lot of people trying to get this passed. It was like someone finally turned on the light switch, and we can finally see. You know, because there's going to be future generations that's going to be affected, and we're actually saving those that we don't even know yet, that we can't even see. And so when the overdose is over, when the overdose crisis is finally waving its flag, I'll be happy. But there's be a whole bunch of other people that probably would need services, and I'll probably be trying to help, see how I can help them. And I'll have it out, because I can say, well, are you so sure that, you know, we can win this? I can be like, hey, my people was dying for decades, and now there's no overdose. So that will be rewarding, because I can be the one to hold that flashlight while we're walking through the tunnel together.
Don't it feel good to win, y'all? Don't it feel damn good to win? All of these are stepping stone campaigns towards a North Star. Now I want you to look around real quick. How many of y'all here when we're at home that we're building a multiracial democracy? Look around. Look around. This is the multiracial democracy. This is the multi-generation democracy. This is the multi-identity democracy, the multi-regional democracy that it takes to take these stepping stone campaigns to win big. And that is why we build a power plan. I'm going to pass it over to Larry and Katie to talk about the power plans so we can wrap it up.
Hey everybody, my name is Katie Beekler. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm here with Iowa CCI. I don't know about y'all, but all of those victories had me tearing up so bad, my freaking eyeliner wings are running right now. So thank you to all the fighters in this room.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but my hands have been tired from clapping. They turning red because all we do is win, win, win no matter what. And every time we step into the building, everybody's hands go up and they stay there. And so we're not going to stop winning until we win all the changes that we want to see for our communities. And that doesn't just mean in winning campaigns. It means winning changes to the structure of our economy and our society itself. And at People's Action, we have something we call the long-term agenda that lays out the new world that we are working to win. So I want y'all to give some love to each of these points when you see them come up. So first, we're going to win a new economy, y'all. And that means we say no more to the days when too much money is controlled by too few.
We will win real democracy. We'll break the control that corporations and the wealthy few have over our government, over our political process, and over our economy.
And we will win racial justice. We are going to reverse the government policies that facilitate structural racism, and we will repair the ways in which racism was built into the foundations of our economy and our society.
That's right. We will win gender justice. We will end structural barriers to gender equity and opportunity that impact women, LGBTQ people, and people who don't conform to traditional gender norms.
And we're going to take it worldwide because we're going to win global sustainability. That means that we're going to take bold action at a global scale to protect our planet and all the people of the world from corporate greed. So, how does that sound to y'all? Y'all with it? Is this the world that you're fighting for? And we're not going to win these things next month or next year. We usually say that winning these types of changes could take up to 40 years. Are y'all committed?
This year will be 10 years since we first adopted our long-term agenda. 10 years. So, to celebrate, we decided to get even more serious about the power it's going to take to get there by getting clear about the power we need to build in 10 years to make a serious advance toward our 40-year agenda. So we engaged our whole network in a conversation that we called our Power Plan. We ran Power Plan sessions with many of the organizations here. Make some noise if your organization did a Power Plan. Iowa CCI did a Power Plan last October, and at our session, our member leaders stood and declared what they were going to win in 10 years, and we dug into the power we are going to get, or we're going to need to build to get there. More than 500 people across our network engaged in those powerful sessions. Give it up.
And based on these sessions, we named some shared commitments to the power that we are going to build together as a network over the next 10 years. We discussed these proposed commitments with directors and with our delegates assembly. And you brought all these proposals back to your organizations. And this afternoon, People's Action's highest governing body, our delegates assembly, voted to affirm these commitments. And give it up for our delegates now.
So let's take a look at the 4 power building commitments that we came to. If you want to follow along, you can see these in the app. Over the next 10 years, we will build campaigns that lay the foundation for bigger wins over time. What does that mean? We will choose campaigns that help us to grow our base. We will take on corporate power directly, and our campaigns will win stepping stones that improve people's lives today on the way to our long-term agenda.
And we're going to make an investment in building our power to fight the battle of big ideas, both as a national network and as member organizations.
We will win the power to govern in our states. We are aiming to win governing trifectas in 26 states by 2032. Trifectas are states where the same party controls the state house, the Senate, and the governor's house, and those folks will be our folks.
And finally, and most importantly, we are committing to build serious power over the next 10 years. We are committed to doubling and deepening our membership base in 2 years by investing heavily in developing our leaders. And so what that means is we will have 75,000 leaders trained and 750 organizers trained in the fundamentals of organizing over the next 10 years. So we're going to dig into these things in more detail in the regional assemblies that are coming up next. And tomorrow evening, we're going to come back together in the closing plenary, and we'll all make these power building commitments together. So get ready to dig in today and make the commitments tomorrow evening for these bold visions of power we're going to build over the next 10 years.
Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? And when we fight, when we plan, all right, now let's get in these regional assemblies, build the power we need over the next 10 years to kick some more ass. I'm going to pass it to my coach here, Alyssa.
All right, so right now you guys are going to break up into regional assemblies. Look in your agenda if you want to know, and it's basically each state is going to be in different areas. And these are the first ever concurrent regional assemblies for member organizations, and we're going to really figure out how we can take all of this home, how we can build out a plan and put it into action. But before then, I'm going to kick it over to the Eastern High School Marching Band that's going to play us out. Let's hear from them.